Our guest is an Australia-based content creator who gained popularity sharing her family life on social media with her husband Joshua and their adorable kids Nemo and Jet. Let's welcome to the show a proud global Pinay wife and mother of two, Geraldine Blackman. Hi, Geraldine!
Hi! Hello, everyone!
I want to start to rewind to where Geraldine grew up and what made Geraldine Geraldine. So, you grew up in Ifugao. What was that childhood like?
So I was born actually in Baguio City, but then I grew up in Ifugao where my grandma and grandfather lives. I was 8 months old when my mom went abroad, like when she went overseas to work kasi we didn't have enough money. My mom has to support the family.
Proudly laking lolo and lola, which a lot of Pinoys can relate to also. Fast forward to 2011, that was when you had to make the decision either to stay or to move. What went into that decision?
So I actually studied in Baguio.
Yeah. Teenager, medyo struggled to adapt to a whole new culture.
Oh, yes, 100%. I didn't have any friends. So one of the struggle is, because I've never lived with my mom and dad because I was raised by my lola and lolo. Coming in here and moving here in Australia and also living with my mom and dad is also another different challenge then. My mom and dad are the best. So I have a stepdad. He is Chilean, but he came here in Australia at a young age. Very welcoming din siya. And then my mom, she wasn't very strict. I thought that she'd be super strict because every time I'm doing phone calls with her when I was living in the Philippines, she would always be so strict. But then when I started living with her, hindi pala iba pala yung kasama ko siya, iba pala yung arrogant niya sa personal kaysa sa phone call. My first job was assistant in nursing. I call it caregiver sa Philippines and some other countries.
Now, full-time content creation. Well, at what point did you realize, this can actually be my job, my career?
I never imagined that I'm gonna be doing this full time. Maybe if I'm gonna keep on doing this, I can quit my job, then I can be with the family more.
To those watching, kanina pa you've been noticing that Geraldine would look to the side. Yes, na. We will meet the man in Geraldine's life. Joining us is her other half, Joshua Blackman. Hi, Joshua!
Hello, how are you?
Nakakatawa kasi Joshua has been off-cam earlier this whole time that we've been talking to Geraldine. And Geraldine seems to be looking at you for some sort of comment, approval. Is it?
Yeah, I was making comments under my breath. She was trying to figure out what I was saying. I was playing games on my phone.
She did point to you as the one with the idea to post videos on social media. Is that correct?
So it started off with me saying we should do videos of our son playing with toys because there's a lot of people doing that.
It started as a video of Nemo and then that's it. It snowballed from there?
Those videos didn't really get many views. It wasn't until this thing called TikTok comes around and Geraldine goes, dude, let's do a dancing video on TikTok, like everyone does. And I was like, I don't want to do that. And then so then we did that, but that wasn't really very popular. And then she was like, I just want to do one more video on TikTok. And it was this video of being married to a Filipino 1 day, 1 month, 1 year. And that one blew up and went viral.
We did want to rewind a bit to the beginning of your love story, of course. Tell us, what was your first impression of Geraldine and what about her made you feel, there's something special with this one?
When I first met her, I was actually going to meet her at the train station in the town where she lived. Anyway, I parked my car and there was this really beautiful lady walking up the street and I was like, it's definitely not going to be her. And then got out of my car and went up to meet her at the train station and it was her. And I was like, wow, she's beautiful.
Oh, that's so sweet. How about you, Geraldine? And from that first meeting, how long did it take before you realized each other was the one?
Some people might say that our courtship was very quick, but 1 year we were together. And I was just trying to ask people that I trusted their opinion of and my parents saying what is the reason that I wouldn't want to ask her to marry me. If I already feel like I want to marry her and I don't have any reason not to ask her, why do I need to wait longer?
What was that proposal story, Geraldine?
I remember that there was like raining and then he was wearing his tuxedo. And then he just came knocking on my rental place. And then he was like, let's go out for dinner, he said. So we went out for dinner and then he took me out on a very, very, a very fancy restaurant. And he took me out on a walk. Is that correct? Am I giving the right?
Before we went for a bit of a walk and then came to a tree. It was wearing my nice suit and it was really rainy and muddy and I didn't want to get mud. So I put something on the ground. Some idiot. What an idiot. Put something on the ground and then knelt down on the thing on the ground.
Oh my gosh, I didn't.
And then pulled out a ring and said, do you want to marry me?
I was curious, Geraldine, because I read that at some point you were already thinking of going back to the Philippines. But did meeting Joshua influence that decision to stay in Australia?
So I've adjusted pretty well with the culture and then with all of the relationships, with connections and that with friends for the first few years of living here in Australia. But then at some point, the turning point was like 4 and 5 years where I was like, I don't know if Australia is like really my thing because I was missing my grandparents already. What is the reason why nandito ako sa Australia kung my happiness is in the Philippines? And then I met Joshua and then we started dating.
One of the successful couples that a lot of people look up to. What's your advice to other people who also are in multicultural relationships?
You've got to be understanding of each other, know that you're both coming from different directions and don't get hung up on small things.
This time with Jet joining us. Hi!
Hello.
Who said I love you first?
What answer did I put?
I said me.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, did I?
So do you know the context in which you said I love you?
I can't remember.
it was
How did you celebrate your first anniversary as a married couple? Breastfeeding Nemo!
Oh my gosh! This is for
What are your kids' favorite bonding experience as a family?
no. What did you write?
Going breakfast outside. Still similar. Is your partner's favorite food or dish from your culture? Oh, Joshua loves crispy pata. What's your advice to other global Pinoy parents raising their kids abroad?
I'm very, very Filipino. For example, my kids, I taught them how to do bless, mano po. Every time they see, it took a while for them to learn na mag-bless sila. The kids have to bless all of the elderly in the Philippines or our family over here. But then, nakuha na nila. So now every time they go and say my mom and dad or a friend or yung mga tita and tito, they would always bless.
I'd say we probably keep them grounded. We always go and visit the village where Geraldine grew up and stay there to stay with the family and do the traditional Filipino stuff, having the normal breakfast that people have, not always just being at the hotels and stuff. We often stay at the house and just live normal Filipino life when we go there.
We are so grateful that you are all with us, that you are loving our content, and then that you support us. We have been in this industry already for 2.5 years. I appreciate you guys. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.
Nice to meet you. Hi.